back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit, and today we have another timeless pick a card reading on how do men view you. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce that 28th March I will be teaching my intensive Thoth Tarot course. So if you're interested in learning Thoth Tarot from me, you can send me an email or you can hit me up on Instagram. And you can do the same if you are interested in learning witchcraft. The witchcraft course is going to be 27th of June. And if you are interested in getting a personal reading, again, you can do the same. And I'm seeing that a lot of y'all did subscribe. So thank you so much to the new subscribers and all the OGs. You know how much I love you. And I would still like the 55% of the returning viewers to please subscribe. So I'm asking you really sweetly to please subscribe and giving you a minute to subscribe. And trusting you've done that, we can move forward to the reading on how do men view you. And pile number 1, we have the very beautiful Thoth Tarot that I will be teaching 28th March, block the date. Pile number 2, we have our Salabuska Tarot key. And pile number 3, we have the Witch's Garden Tarot. Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, remember, these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like the video, please subscribe. And if you're interested in learning witchcraft tarot, send me an email to get more details, and I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the very beautiful Thoth Tarot, this is your reading on how do men view you. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce that I will be teaching this very beautiful Thoth Tarot starting 28th March. So if you're interested in learning this tarot deck from me, you can sign up. It's not going to be a workshop, it's going to be a course. We will be together for like 2 months. So it's going to be jam-packed, it's going to be intensive. So don't miss out on this opportunity of learning this from me. And you can do the same if you are interested in getting a personal reading from me. You can hit me up on my email or my Instagram. Now, let's move forward to the reading on how do men view you. Okay, pile number 1, we have 10 of Wands, we have 5 of Cups, we have 5 of Wands, Knight of Swords, we have 6 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, Prince of Pentacles, we have the Empress, and we have the Hierophant. Firstly, I want to say men do find you extremely hot, because I'm feeling very hot all of a sudden, and I do have the aircon on, but it just seems like it's not enough. And it is summer. It was literally like 38 degrees today. I'm not even exaggerating. So I do think a lot of men think you're very hot to handle. 10 of Wands. They do think they're not in the position to maybe give you what they think you deserve, right? So men can definitely see that you have very high standards. And we have 5 of Cups with the 5 of Wands. So men do see that you've had your disappointments, you have grown wise, you've dealt with conflicts very gracefully. And I think right now you're choosing to be single, even though you could probably settle if you really wanted to, or if you wanted to like have some fun or entertain someone, you could probably do that, but you're not choosing to do that. And I think that is making you more attractive to, a lot of men. And I do think a lot of men do have their eye on you, so to speak. Because then we have the Knight of Swords. So you're very intelligent, you're very strategic. You're also very cold and calculated when you need to be. You know how to be in a man's world, so to speak, over here. That's what I'm really feeling with the Knight of Swords. You can put on your big boy pants and show up and get the work done, right? That's the energy I'm picking up over here. And it's not just that, you are very victorious in whatever you choose to do. We have Six of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo. So, and it has the energy of sun, right? Because it's number six on the tree of life, which is different. So you are like the sun. You are radiating your joy, warmth, and glow to anyone and everyone who needs it, right? The sun is very impartial in the way it shines, right? It's going to shine on everything. It's not going to discriminate, right? Whether we like the sunlight or not. So you have that regalness about you, and men do see that. You know, I would say you are a lone wolf, but you know how to collaborate. You're very good at teamwork. You're very good at collaborations. You're very good at working with other people, even though it's not the most necessary thing for you. You don't need a new feature or a new sidekick, so to speak. You're very good on your own. But when it comes to really creating something bigger than yourself, you are humble enough to really, understand what is needed for the greater good of all and sort of submit to that. So, and I think you are also a joy to be around. I think people like to socialize with you. People like to talk to you. Pe- People do get this very positive energy of you. Because in the last row, I have to say, I feel this is my pile of Tauruses. I think you could have very prominent Taurus placements because we have the Prince of Discs, we have Empress, and we have the Hierophant. So very, very strong Taurus-like energy. You could have Venus in Taurus. You could have Venus in the second house, right? You could have a very well-placed Venus. You could have Saturn in Taurus. But either way, you have this very Taurian energy to you. There is decadence with the Empress. There is wisdom and deep knowledge, right, that you can excavate with the Hierophant. And yet you're slow, steady, very firm, and very poised in who you are. You're not in a rush. You're not in a rush to prove anything to anyone. You're doing things at your own sweet time and pace, and it is clearly working out for you. I think a lot of people would, a lot of men particularly would say that they feel very intoxicated just being in your presence. You're sort of like a beautiful flower, right? That gives off this very fragrant aroma, right? That can be very intoxicating itself. And I can't help but think about my datura plant, right? And the datura flowers, they are poisonous. So if you keep smelling them for longer than you should, it will start altering your consciousness. So I do feel you have that, you know, sweet venom like vibe that you're giving off, right? It's cute, but it's sort of lethal. And it's very enchanting to men. Men are very enchanted by just how you go about living your life, right? They're just very hypnotized by watching your movements, by just seeing, you do your daily work, whatever it is that you do over here, right? Men also see this deep sort of wisdom that you operate from, even if they don't always understand or can articulate that. They definitely see that you are connected to something higher and something greater than yourself, and it is protecting you, it is guiding you, it is really showing you the way, and you're smart enough, and you're wise enough, and you're patient enough, and you're quiet enough to listen to that voice within your heart, right? And since the dogs have been just going on and on in the reading, and they're really like getting on my nerves now, so I would say that there is like gossip about you. People do talk about you, but you do have the main character energy. So why shouldn't people talk about you? And it doesn't really matter. I think even if someone is bad mouthing you, people can really see who's truly insecure. So it doesn't really matter if dogs keep barking. Dogs, they do bark a lot, but they don't ever really break out into a fight, right? Like most of the times. But A snake, if a snake is hissing at you, you better back off because it will bite you, unlike the dog, right? So you are like a snake, you're not like a dog. I would say that is the difference, right? You could have like 20 dogs running behind you, but you are like this one king cobra, so to speak. You know, you are enough to take on 100 dogs. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but take what resonates. And since I just said that, I do feel men don't see you as someone who can be extremely domesticated. Men do see this, feral wild nature that you have to yourself. This darkness that you have to yourself. Men can pick that up, and I do think it's a lot of men's ego that you damage because there is this very natural need in men to maybe want to control that, right? To subjugate that very like Lilith like energy that you sort of embody, right? This very raw primordial energy. So you are very powerful and the lights are blinking. So I would say you're very good at manipulating your reality. I think your reality quite literally warps around you. And I do think you need to maybe be more mindful of your abilities and to just bring it more into your consciousness so you have more power to create what you want. Because if you're not aware of your abilities, it's going to create problems for you. So I do think you very naturally intimidate a lot of men around you. You know, it's like who's going to really, you know, square up to like a warrior goddess. It's going to take a warrior god, right? So I do think a lot of men desire you, but not a lot of them maybe come up to you and tell you that, or maybe initiate something with you because they know you will devour them. You do have this man eater like energy. I am picking that up. So beta males are not for you. I think you need an alpha. Otherwise, it just won't work. You will crush them, and I do think you crush them anyway. You know, you're very smart. You're very smart. You're very slow, steady. You're very calculated. You know, you can be cold blooded when you need to be, right? Which is, I think, very important to you know operate in like a man's world, so to speak, right? So you can morph into your enemies. You can, change your nature, which is very, very powerful. And I do think this itself is a gift that you have that will, get you through some very difficult terrain. Very, very powerful over here, by number one. And I do think a lot of y'all have very, very big destinies, right? To even be able to wield so much power for the greater good. And there are checks and balances within your life, right? I don't feel things have been easy. You know, your own morality has been questioned, right? Over and over again. So you have so many layers. You have so many layers, and it's going to take someone as important and as special and as deep as you to recognize that. So trust me, you really don't need people by number one. You know, at least the way I look at it, God will, at least the way I look at it, God will either make you extremely talented and give you like a very difficult life, or, God will make you smart, but not like the best, but, give you friends, family, and a partner, right away. So, and I don't think you are the latter. I do think you are the former. I don't think you really even have had the support to do what you're able to do right now, right? So it's the bargaining chip that you have, and honestly, you have the best one because you don't have to go look out for anything outside yourself, and you can always find more ways to love yourself if that is needed, you know, because I do think maybe you are experiencing a moment of weakness, and that is okay. You don't have to give up on your dreams, right? And I'm honestly getting very like Nicki Minaj like energy, and I know a lot of bards watch me, which I love. I would say I'm a bard too. So Nicki is she competes with the male rappers, right? So you have that energy. You're not you're creating your own sort of lane, and no matter how many people may come after you, your your impact will always be there. So you have this very Jupiter like energy, and small planets just cannot compete, right, to like a Jupiter. So understand that, understand your power. I think the more you understand that, the less you will even feel the need for anything outside yourself, and I think this is what scares a lot of men, because I think men want to be needed, right? At least most healthy men, they want to feel like you know they're needed and their assistance is needed, right? But you're clearly doing great things on your own, so I do think that affects the male ego. But just continue to do what you're doing, because you're clearly on your throne and you're killing it, right? Shuffle some oracle, see if I missed something. Okay, pile number one, we have card number 47, Domination, card number 42, the Fawn, and we have card number 41, the Red Ruby Queen. Red Ruby the Sleaze. So, again, a lot of Nikki references in this pile. And that's what I'm even getting with the Domination card, I'm hearing Win Again, which is also a Nicki song. And that's also like Cardi's favorite Nicki song. So, your haters are still your fans, by number one. And you are supposed to be in the big leagues. You are supposed to be a kingdom unto yourself. And I don't think, you've necessarily had role models or people to even look up to. But I think you will be that for a lot of people, So I think what is really required at your end is maybe, you have to shift the perspective from which you're looking at your own life. And I think the more you heal, the more you allow yourself to heal, there will be more freedom in your own experiences, you know. And that's what I'm getting with the Red Ruby Queen. So, there's so many new adventures that await you. There's so much more conquest that you have to embark on, right? So why wait? Why keep yourselves small, right? You can manifest so much more for yourself than you even want, and there's nothing wrong in wanting more. And I think that's a deeper lesson you have to understand. Again, I think men find you very enchanting. You do have a bit of this intimidating dominatrix energy as well. And you are a queen unto yourself, so you really challenge men. I would say that, and I think you will also challenge the person you will end up with. But whether they rise up to the occasion, that's that's clearly up to them. I do feel you have a familiar as well. If you don't already have a familiar, I think you will have one very soon. Or if you already have a familiar, expect to get a newer familiar. So that was also like a side message over here. Anything else? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number. Once again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, please subscribe. I'm seeing a lot of y'all are not subscribing, not cool. And if you are interested in learning tarot, witchcraft from me, you can send me an email or you can hit me up on Instagram to get more details. And you can do the same if you want a private reading from me. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Celebuska Taroki, this is your reading on how do men view you. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce that 28th of March, I will be teaching my Thoth Tarot intensive course. So if you're interested in learning the Thoth Tarot from me, you can sign up. You can send me an email to get more details, or you can hit me up on my Instagram. And you can do the same if you want to learn witchcraft, which will start on 27th of June. And if you want a private reading, you can hit me up too. Now, let's move forward to the reading. Also, please subscribe. I'm seeing a lot of y'all are not subscribing, asking you really sweetly to subscribe. So please do that on my behalf. Now, let's move forward to the reading on how do men view you. Okay, pile number 2, we have Two of Swords, we have Queen of Pentacles, we have Olivia, we have Five of Wands, we have King of Swords, we have Nebuchadnezzar, we have Three of Swords, Empress, Lempio, and we have Ace of Cups. How do men view you? Men view you as a very archetypal feminine figure, whether you are male, female, anything in the middle. They do see you as the Queen of Pentacles. They do see you in this very homemaker like energy. They feel very masculine around you. A lot of men, I think you're naturally so feminine that you really bring out the masculinity in men. And they feel like protecting you, they feel like taking care of you, they feel like being the provider, because you do have this very motherly nurturing energy to you, and not to get very Freudian, but you do remind a lot of men of their own mother in a positive way. Let's just say that you do have this very motherly energy to you. So I think that's what men are really, really attracted to. And I know you don't want to always be people's mother, right? It's very frustrating. So I do get that, but you are just such a joy to be around. Men love being around you, and we have the Sun card, so they're constantly seeking this light that is within you. And I do think you are enlightened because the Sun card is about personal enlightenment. So you are operating out of your higher self, right? You are in this divine cosmic harmony with everything around you. So men know that being around you, they will end up in the right place, so to speak, right? So I do feel maybe you have a lot of men around you who don't always want to do the work, right? But you're very protected, so I don't think you even need to worry about this. But I do think maybe you just need to be more aware about who or what is in your environment, because it is sort of like having a leech draining you, right? And you have to realize that it's not your job to maybe love everyone, despite you having this very innate need to nurture, right? Maybe just be a little more selfish and nurture yourself. You know, I think that would be more of a better investment for you than nurturing just everyone around you. Because I do think it is sort of taking its toll on you. And trust me, sooner or later, you will be very resentful for it. So maybe what you have to do is see, who is truly valuing the nurturance that you're giving and who is just, draining your life force, right? Because we do have King of Swords in the center of the reading. So people cannot disillusion you for a long time. You have a high level of self-awareness. So deception doesn't really work with you know. And with the Nebuchadnezzar card, I do feel, you will you will topple down all structures. You will topple down all structures that are not good anymore. No matter how firm the foundation you have built, you don't mind completely destroying it and creating it again. And it makes you very powerful. It makes you very scary to a lot of men, because I think a lot of men, you know, they sort of rely on the fact that you like them and you will like them forever, and you would do anything for them. And I do think men have sort of taken advantage of your niceness, and they've had to learn the harsh way, right? So know that you deserve someone who is as enlightened as you deserve someone who is as self-aware as you and who is as progressed as you on your spiritual path. I'm not saying don't hold people's hand, do when it is required, but you don't have to be everyone's mother. You're not here to be that, right? You are in embodied form, which means you have limited energy in the day. And again, be more choosy about who you're giving your energy to. You know, that's a message for you, particularly pile number 2. It's very interesting. The last row we have Three of Swords, Olympia, which is Empress, and we have Ace of Cups. And on the Ace of Cups card, it reads, Fate guides me. So a lot of men do feel it's very fated to meet you. It's a very fated occurrence. They might not say it, but they do might sort of feel that it's maybe like a past life thing for a lot of them, meeting you, because you do spiritually awaken people, right? And you're not really responsible for what happens once they are under spiritual judgment, right? Most people, they get scared, they run away, and they scapegoat the blame, or they hide behind material things, you know and I would say very less, maybe less than 1% of the people choose to walk the line of fire and be transformed, right? So you need to just keep doing your thing, and if men are running away, let them. If they feel that they're better off, then let them be that. you know don't I don't think this life for you is, it's not about other people. Yes, you're here to help other people, but I do think you will spiritually ascend in this life a lot. You have a lot of your own quests to do in this life, where you cannot be everyone's nanny, right? And I do think men sort of put that on you. They put this motherly responsibility, and I think you just have to learn to not take it. You just have to learn to say no. But again, I do see it's your inherent nature. Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. Come on. But think of it this way, you don't have to be an impartial mother. These are not your biological children. So you can, you can have a little favoritism there. I think you have your own accomplishments to make. And I think it inspires a lot of men, but it also scares a lot of men because they know that despite, you being in this very feminine energy, you can outwork them. You're more talented, you're more charismatic, you're more hardworking, and you're more savvy with whatever you choose to do over here. So you are very advanced, and a lot of men don't want to compete with you, despite them being attracted to you. There will be competition regardless, right? But I think you would win anyway. I think a lot of men do want to approach you, but they just don't know how. They just don't know how. So it's going to take someone very, very confident to be with you. You're not going to be able to be with a man with a fragile ego, like a 5-year-old's fragile ego. And I do think you've had your fair share of that. So better to wait for something worth your while than to just keep wasting your time, right? Just because you're bored. So you know better. Men do see you have a lot on your plate, yet you don't complain. You're very graceful, you're very poised about your dealings. You don't crash out, you don't really. I don't think a lot of men have maybe even seen you swear. So, you know, you are very ladylike when you need to be, right? Yet you do have this Genghis Khan conqueror energy. So you're very balanced in your masculine and your feminine, and I'm seeing like a lioness. Yeah. And lionesses, they're more powerful than the lion, right? They are protecting the pride. They do the hunting. They do the killing. They do almost everything. The lion is just, being lazy, right? Just go and look at any of the lion pride, lioness pride documentaries. That's pretty much the story in all of them. And you are the lioness over here. You have the direct connection to the divine. You know the right thing to do. The right thing to say. The right actions to take. Right? You keep yourself inspired. It's not easy to stay inspired. It's not easy to stay creative. It's not easy to come up with something new every week, but you manage to do it every day. So understand your power, understand who you are, right? And just just love yourself more. Because I think you would be better at loving yourself than most people around you right now. And that's not a bad thing. Maybe you're just running in the wrong direction. So maybe just pause and go the other way for once. You know, because I understand. Having this very feminine energy to nurture and not really having anyone to nurture it. It can sort of poison yourself, right? But use that energy for yourself. I think you need it more than anyone right now, right? So really pour all that love into yourself. Go a little crazy with your skincare. Spend more time doing your skincare. Spend more time just loving on yourself, right? More positive self-talk in the mirror. Really, really admire yourself every day for like 15 minutes at least, right? So more on the self-love for you, definitely. Shuffle some oracle. Okay, pile number 2, we have card number 39, the grotto, card number 26, utopia, and card number 17, the monkfish. Men do project their ideal scenarios onto you. I think a lot of men feel that, when they have the perfect job, the perfect car, the perfect bank balance, only then will they come towards you. So a lot of men don't even try, in the time being. And with the monkfish and grotto, again, I feel you are very intuitive. You are very clairvoyant, whether you're a full blown tarot reader, astrologer, or you're just living a normal life, getting through your normal day experiences, but you're using your intuition more than you realize, and you know you you know the right things to say, you know the right things to do. And if you don't feel like you know the right things to say or do, I think you have to just isolate, give yourself more alone time. Right, there's a big emphasis on with the grotto card on really being in your own company, in your own silence. Right, I think then you will get more clearer answers on whatever you're requiring. Right, ideally try to meditate, but I know meditation is not for everyone, it's not everyone's cup of tea. So find your own alternative which gives you like meditative like results. That's very, very important. And for a lot of y'all, being alone is really going to give you the message that you need for yourself and for other people, especially if you are a channeler, medium, tarot reader, astrologer of some kind. So there is an emphasis over here on really giving yourself solitude daily, like get into the habit of being alone for at least few hours. Because at times, your connection to your higher self weakens. But you have to keep showing up for the clear connection to be maintained, right? So you need to focus on that. And men might not always see and understand this, right? They might just see that, you're a bit of a loner, and maybe you feel lonely, and maybe that's when you would need them, right? So I think these are all like stupid, crazy, silly fantasies men have of you. I do feel there is like the sense of barrier. Not in a way to objectify you, but it's like they're seeing this very beautiful woman across the glass, you know, but they cannot touch it. And that's how you are to most men. They can see you, but they cannot touch you. So that's what I'm picking up over here. I do think a lot of men think of you in like the ideal case scenario, right? But keep doing what you're doing, because you can only be with the winner. And it's going to take someone extremely confident and someone very secure in themselves, someone who knows themselves very well, to be with you, right? Otherwise, it's just not going to work out. You're going to be raising another son, and I'm sure you have enough sons by number two. Anything else? Yeah, that's all I have for file number two. Is again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. I'm seeing a lot of y'all are not subscribing, not cool. And if you are interested in learning tarot witchcraft, you can send me an email to get more details, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number three. If you chose the Tarot of the Witch's Garden, this is your reading on how do men view you. And even before we jump into the reading, I do want to announce 28th of March, I will be teaching my Thoth Tarot course. So if you're interested in learning the Thoth Tarot from me, you can definitely send me an email to get more details, or you can hit me up on Instagram. And you can do the same if you are interested in learning witchcraft, which is going to happen on 27th June. And you can do the same if you want a personal reading from me. Now, let's move forward to the reading on how do men view you. I'm also seeing a lot of y'all are not subscribing. 55% of my returning viewers are not subscribing. Not cool. So please subscribe, asking you super sweetly to do so. And now, okay, by number three, we have Two of Cups, the World, Five of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Star, King of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and Ace of Swords. Right away, a lot of men perceive you as the ideal romantic mate. The reading starts with Two of Cups. So a lot of men want to give you their emotional cup. A lot of men are very attracted to you. They like I said, they do see you as this ideal mate. You really bring out the romance within men, right? So you could have a well-placed Venus, Venus in Taurus, Venus in Libra or Pisces, or in the second, seventh, and the 12th house. Men want to court you. Men want to be chivalrous towards you. Men want to fine dine you, take care of you, protect you. You naturally bring out this very masculine nature in men to want to protect and to want to provide. Even if you're doing it very subconsciously, you have that effect on men. You know? Because what is contrasting is with that energy we have Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, the World card. So you're very balanced within the masculine and the feminine aspects within yourself. You will speak the truth no matter what. You can be cutting with your words. You're very motivated to go after your own passions. You do not wait for anyone. You know when it is time to go on your own conquest. And men love how you see yourself in this very positive light. Men also see that you're very shrewd with your resources. You're very sharp. You're very cunning when you need to be. You will not put all your eggs in one basket, and you will play along with a lot of men, but they can see that you are very shrewd and you know what you're doing, right? So they cannot really deceive you. The usual games just wouldn't work on you. And we have the star in the center of the reading, so men do see you as the star, and despite that, besides that, it's not just that, it's the fact that you have this very healing energy, right? That you're drawing from source itself. So men want that. And I think a lot of men see that you don't misbehave, you don't overly express your emotions. You're very poised and you're very well put together. Right? King of Cups, you don't always show what you're feeling. You are very emotionally mature, and I think it really makes men be more attracted towards you because they know it's not going to be any drama with you. It's not going to be any nonsense with you, right? You will speak the truth, and you're going to be very clear cut about what you want and what you expect, right? Men do see that you do take opportunities for growth. You're not lazy. You do not just sit back on the saddle, right? You take charge of the situation and you steer it to go in the way you want it to go, and things usually do go your way, and you're always on the winning side. And with the World card and Five of Swords, again, it's this very Saturnian energy, right? You are very dutiful. You get your job done. You will wait for something that you really want. You're not just gonna go crazy. So men love this. That's why we have the Two of Cups starting the reading. They really see you as the ideal mate. A lot of people, I think a lot of men are just not approaching you right now because they know they aren't in the best place financially or even emotionally to even be ready to settle down, even though they a lot of them might feel that they have found the right person over here in you. You know how to put up a fight. You're not just going to be okay with anything. And men honestly like that. I think a lot of men love to simp over you, and I mean that in a positive way, right? Because I think everyone wants their husbands to simp over them, right? If your husband is not simping over you, then why are you in that marriage, right? So a lot of men do see you as wifey, you know. I think you can always tell if someone is showing fake confidence. And I think what you love the most is when a man is being very honest and truthful, right? Even if he's messing up and if he tells you that, I think you would appreciate that more. You would appreciate a goofball more than, like a Mr. Know It All, right? Because you do want your guy to even confide in you, right? Without feeling scared, without him feeling emasculated in any sort of the way. I think you might have a lot of male friends. I do pick that energy up. I think this file has a lot of male friends. But something about your words also. Men know not to cross you. They know you will put them in their place. You could have any prominent Kritika placements, whether in the last decan of Aries or the first decan of Taurus, because your words are very cutting. And I mean that in the most positive way, right? Your words dispel people's illusions. You're that powerful. Your words are that powerful, pile number 3. And men do see this. Men do sort of view your power, the power of your words, how you can change someone's mind just by merely speaking with them, right? That is itself very, very witchy. So you do channel this very high wisdom, right? I do feel you will have a new spiritual awakening very, very soon. I do think you need to get ready. I think your abilities are going to increase. I am seeing that over here. Not just your abilities, your power also, your energy level. And I do feel all of this is happening because you're moving into the next phase of your life, and the next phase of your life is going to be bigger, it's going to be more grander, you're going to have more influence, you're going to have more power, you're going to have more things to do. You're entering a very, very busy time in your life, and before that, you will obviously go through a test to see if you're really ready for this. And I do think a lot of y'all are. So if men are intimidated by you right now, they're going to be so much more intimidated by, you coming into your full power. And don't ever, I know it's really hard, but don't ever undermine yourself to make, an average man feel better about himself. I think that's a very clear message for you over here, because you are in a league of your own, and there's no shame in admitting that, you know, and you need to move accordingly, because again, I do see an ascension, and I see a lot of growth, and it's not going to come easy, and but I feel, you have it within you to go through this. Otherwise you would not even be here. So it's going to take someone very, very sturdy, someone very, very reliable. I don't think you've had a very strong, reliable man stand behind you. I think a lot of men in your life have been extremely flaky and inconsistent. So I do think you will meet someone very, very soon who is going to be all that for you as a result of you going through this ascension. So again, be very wise right now with your time, energy, efforts, where you're putting your energy, what you're doing on a daily basis. All those things are very, very important. And make sure you're putting your energy, efforts, and consciousness into things that you want more of in your life. The good. And shuffle some Oracle. Okay, by number 3, we have Card number 5, Omniscious. Card number 32, Pedigree. Card number 49, Deliverance. And card number 28, the Rebus. 48, the Rebus. With the Deliverance card again, I do feel spiritual awakening is here. And it is a rite of passage. Things are not always going to be this difficult, but this is just you at the threshold, and you have everything to gain at this point. And with the Omniscious card, you can see it. Your clairvoyance, clairaudience, all of that is already very heightened. You know what is up, pile number 3. You know what is coming, and what you're going to leave behind is your own legacy that you will create yourself, right? And this has been well earned. This has been well deserved. You have fought for it, right? Blood, sweat, and tears. You have rescued parts of yourself. You have combined parts of yourself. You've destroyed parts of yourself. You've again recombined them to bring it back to a purer level, right? To be in this rebus energy of just perfected state, right? Perfected human state that you have achieved, right? So I think all of this will just catapult you into the next chapter of your life, and I think a lot of men will just have to see you progress even more, you know. So I think a lot of men inevitably do compare themselves to you, do compare their own success to you, even if they might have more money or whatever, you know. They do see that you are actually more hardworking and successful than a lot of them. So you inspire a lot of men to work harder, which is very commendable, honestly, you know. So, you're clearly killing the game. Just continue to, beat men at their own game. And I do think the right person will come along. Just don't settle. I think that's the message for you. Anything else? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number 3s. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. I'm seeing a lot of y'all are not subscribing. Not cool. If you want to learn tarot, if you want to learn witchcraft, you can send me an email to get more details. You can do the same or hit me up on my Instagram if you want a personal reading from me. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you.